purpose of this video is if you are given a point and a slope, you want to find the equation of the line in y-intercept form as fast as possible and without making any mistakes. So let's have a go at this. Let's look at this first. Look at the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 1. Now I'm going to convert that to standard form, and then I want you to notice something. So to convert it to standard form, I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 3. So I multiply that by 3 and I multiply that by 3. So in doing so, multiplying the left by 3, I get 3y. When I distribute the 3 to the right, I get 3 times 2/3 is just 2, so that's 2x plus 3. Now if I move the y over, if I subtract 3y from both sides, I get 0 is equal to 2x minus 3y plus 3. And it's the same thing as if I put the 0 over here, and then if I subtract 3 from both sides, I get 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 3. So there's the equation in standard form, and the thing I'd like you to notice that I'm going to use is the slope of the line is 2/3, and I have a 2 there in front of the x and a 3 there in front of the y, but the slope is positive and the sign between the two is negative. So let's see if that happens again. Let's take a look at this. Let's do y equals negative 3/5 x plus 2. So I want to convert it to standard form, so I multiply everything by 5 to get rid of that denominator, and I get 5y is equal to negative 3x plus 10 when I distribute the 5 to everybody. Okay? Now I just add 3x to both sides, and now I have 3x plus 5y on the left is equal to 10. And here's my equation in standard form. Notice the slope was negative 3/5, and I have a 3 in front of the x and a 5 in front of the y, and now positive. So in another video I'll talk about why that is, but for now I'm going to leave it to you to verify that if I have a slope of negative, say negative 3/5, it's going to be, the equation in standard form is going to start out as 3x plus 5y. If the slope is a positive number, like 2/3, it's going to be 2x minus 3y. So let's see what we can actually do with this. Suppose, let's take a look at this standard form equation. 3x plus 5y equals 10. If it's in standard form and I want the y-intercept, now granted I already know the y-intercept is 2, but if you want the y-intercept, that means you put a 0 in for x, because if you're on the y-axis, your x-coordinate has to be 0. So by putting the 0 in for x, this term is eliminated, and then you can solve 5y equals 10, divide both sides by 5, and you're going to get y equals 2. So if I know the equation in standard form, it's very easy to get the y-intercept, and the slope for that matter. So let's give this a shot. Let's take a slope of, let's say, negative 2/3, and I want it to pass through the point 3, 7. All right? Let's see if we can find this equation and find it fast. So one way to do this would be to say, slope is negative 2/3, so y equals negative 2/3 x plus b. And then you plug the 3 in for x, and you plug the 7 in for y, and you're going to get 7 is equal to negative 2/3 times 3 plus b. The 3's are going to cancel out here, so you're going to have 7 is equal to negative 2 plus b. Add 2 to both sides, and you're going to get b is equal to 9. So the equation is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 9. Now, let me just make some space over here. Get rid of most of this stuff. Now, if you look at what I was saying, if the slope is negative 2/3, you could say that the standard form equation would be 2x plus 3y equals. Remember when I said if the slope is negative, it's going to be x plus y. And then to figure out what this number here is, plug the 3 in for x, so it's going to be 2 times 3 plus 3 times 7, which is going to be 6 plus 21, which is 27. So here's the equation in standard form. Now, that was found very quickly, and then to convert to y-intercept form, I could say y equals negative 2/3 x, because I know the slope, and if I put a 0 in for x in my standard form equation, that goes away, and then I divide 3y equals 27 by 3, that's a 2, I end up with 9 as my y-intercept. Now you might be saying that this one was pretty easy to find, and it was. The problem is, what if the y-intercept doesn't work out to be an integer? Like this one both came out to be 9. So let's take an example like that. Let's get rid of all this. Oops. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Okay. Now, let's do one that doesn't work out quite as nicely. Let's do this. Let's find the equation with a slope of, let's do 3, oops, let me put that back on pen. The slope is 3/5, and I want it to go through the point 1 comma, let's make it 4 comma 1. Okay? Now, doing it with y-intercept method, you would have to say this. Y equals 3/5 x plus b. You would put the 4 in for x and the 1 in for y, and you would get 1 is equal to 3/5 times 4 plus b. So 1 is equal to 12/5 plus b, which means subtract 12/5 off both sides. B is equal to 1 minus 12/5, which is going to be 5/5 minus 12/5, which is equal to negative 7/5. So the equation would be y equals 3/5 x minus 7/5. Okay? Now let's try my way. If the slope is 3/5, then you know the standard form equation is going to be 3x minus 5y. And if I put a 4 in for x and a 1 in for y, I'm going to get 12 minus 5, which is 7. So here's the equation in standard form. Now to get the y-intercept, simply put a 0 in for x, and that term will go away, and you're going to have negative 5y equals 7, and that's easy to solve. Y is going to be negative 7/5. So your equation would be y equals 3/5 x minus 7/5. And I think that's a lot faster and a lot less tedious than doing it any other way. So now, let me show you an example where I'm going to go through and do it my way. And I challenge you, if you'd like to give me a race and see who gets to the answer first correctly, give it a shot. See who wins. So let's do this. Let's do the example of, let's have a slope of, let the slope, oops, let me turn this to pen. Let the slope be m equals negative 4/7, and let's let it go through the point 5, 1. Go. You do it your way, I'll do it mine. Done. There's you have it. So let me just rehash the steps. Since the slope was 4/7, I wrote 4x plus 7y and left this blank. Then I stuck the 5 in for x and the 1 in for y, and I got 20 plus 7, and that comes out to be 27, so that's that number. To get the y-intercept, I simply covered this up by putting a 0 in for x and solved the equation 7y equals 27 and got the y-intercept. And then I just put all the pieces in. Y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept that I just found. Very simple, very fast, and I think it eliminates a lot of potential mistakes that people make when they're dealing with the other form. So, good luck with this.